Hello and welcome to Las Vegas. We are at the 6th edition of the Infrastructure Summit by Structure Research. Joining me today is Allison Clements, partner at Appleby Strategy Group. Thank you so much for joining me today. How has the day been for you?
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been a great day. There's so much going on in the data center development industry right now, in particular at the intersection of power and all of the constraints that the industry is facing to growth. So it's been exciting and productive.
Speaking of power, and obviously speaking of the conference and the theme in general, there's a lot of things happening in the industry. Tell me what the power dynamics is right now currently that's driving the data center industry.
I think the data center industry is running really fast, it's growing really quickly, and the power utility industry moves very slowly. And while there has been, we've been long on power supply as a country for a decade, it's all of a sudden the demand has increased so much that supply is tightening, and it's caused a lot of kind of slowdown, and it's caused the intersection of these two industries, power and data center development, in a way that I think people who have been in this industry, in the data center development industry for a long time, just weren't expecting.
And I know that there's not a one-size-fits-all solution for something, nor is there a quick solution that you can click your fingers, but in an ideal world, what needs to happen in order for the power to catch up?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, there's two ways to put more stuff on the grid. You can build new supply, you can build new power plants, which takes, best case, a couple of years. Some kinds of technologies are faster to build than others. And so you build stuff, or you make better use of the grid we already have. And I think that's the near-term opportunity, is figuring out how data center demand can be a little bit flexible, just within narrow parameters on several hours a year, in order to allow for reliable operation of the grid, while at the same time not slowing down the industry. So we have to make the most of the grid we have, and then we can do that while we're figuring out how to build new stuff.
In terms of operators increasingly building near energy sources, how are renewable energy availability and sustainability targets shaping site strategies?
I mean, they've really created the markets, right? You've got these hyperscalers who have made commitments related to carbon reduction and clean energy, and they're sticking to it, which is really exciting. It creates opportunities to continue to decrease the cost of wind, solar, storage, and to bring in new technologies to help smooth out the variability of those resources. So it's really had a huge impact, and it's a good impact, I think.
And what about the regulatory framework? What kind of influence does it have?
It's wild. I mean, the regulatory framework is different in each of the 50 states, right? And so if you think you have federal regulation and state regulation, and you have to figure out the combination of the two, and no two states are the same. So you've got this patchwork quilt of regulation across the country, and all these people who really understand the regulations, but who have never brought in data center development. And so it's interesting to try and translate between the two to help the utilities and the regulators understand new load growth, and to help this new load growth understand the utility regulation. But it's slow, and it's trying to catch up with all of the new demand for power that we're seeing.
And what needs to happen to bridge the gap, do you reckon?
Time. I mean, I think there's an evolution in the regulatory space. It's a very slow-moving process. When you propose a rule, you take public comment on a rule, you finalize a rule, people challenge the rule in court. It takes a long time to create rules for how new data centers can hook up to the grid. I think we just need to really reform that mindset to match the markets, right? We want the rules to adapt as quickly as the markets are trying to move, and so that's the goal.
Let's talk about the priorities of Appleby.
Yes.
So give me two of your top priorities going into 2026.
Great. So I'm a partner in ASG, which is Appleby Strategy Group, and we're a boutique advisory firm. We advise power developers and try and help them develop and find partners on the data center side, and we help landowners and data center developers find power. And so going into 2026, we want to continue the success. I think we've closed about 6 gigawatts in the last 18 months to 24 months, and so just to continue to build on that success.
And in general, how do you see the power story playing out?
I hope it plays out that the utility industry, the regulators, and the governors across the country kind of lean in a way that allows to break through on some of these tougher opportunities. There's a lot of opportunity to both have the economic development and the national security benefits that come from data center development, while at the same time not burdening regular customers like you and me with the cost of adding that new load to the grid. And so I hope the way that the power story plays out is that we kind of lean in a way that helps us to navigate that challenge.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Allison.
Thank you.
And for you at home, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on our website. At the Tech Capital, you lead, we report. Bye for now.